Good morning from East Midlands Airport. Get my words out there, it's a bit cold this morning. Very good morning from East Midlands Airport and welcome back to live flight action. We've shifted our position this morning, making our way down to the end of 09. Catch all the departures and arrivals into East Midlands in a strong wind from a bit of a different perspective this morning. There you go, the runway straight in front of us there and very much still in darkness out there, but that sun is rising. That light should be making its way to us in the next 30 to 60 minutes. But over there on the main stand, the Ryanair's in the distance. There are a few aircraft this morning. Making their way out to us. The Ryanair off to Krakow, the first aircraft out on the taxiway. Let's see if we can pan around a little and see that one. Just about see the anti-collision light there pinging away in the distance, and the 747 with us as well. Right in the very distance there, next to the EPS 767 it looks like, so a little bit further away than we usually are, but very much a different view to that of what we're used to. We're taking a bit of shelter from the wind, just hiding away here behind the fence before the full impact of that cold reaches us. The next aircraft out, the Ryanair off to Faro this morning. That one is starting up. There it is, making its way down towards the start of runway 27. And the Jet 2 off to Fuerteventura. That one is also on stand this morning. Just pushed back. And should be making its way down towards us in the next 5 minutes or so. This engine is just starting up in the distance. I'm just going to tell you with us this morning, thank you very much for joining us live from East Midlands Airport. It's very, very windy indeed this morning. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer out there. There we go to the Ryanair. First departure then making its way onto runway 27 now. See if we can pan around and see that one. There we go, just making its way on in the distance. Let's see how this one goes. 25 knots is the current wind speed here at East Midlands. Definitely feels very much stronger than that. There it is, lining up on runway 27, ready to make its way down to the waters this morning. Registration on this one, 9 Hotel Victor Alpha 737 Max. And there it goes, just about to reach the top of the runway there. Pick that one up just out of shot there as it makes its way from us this morning. I'll get the next one though, a little bit dark right above us. So look where the next aircraft is then, just about to make its way onto 27 as well. Yeah, I'll try and get a few overhead shots if we can as it gets a little bit lighter. Still very dark, difficult to pick up those aircraft as they're making their way from the airport this morning. Jet 2 off to Palma starting on stand, and the Chewy as well off to Palma this morning. Both of those aircraft should be making their way out any time soon. And the Jet 2 off to Fuerteventura on the taxiway. The Ryanair there then making its way onto runway 27. And the aircraft ready to depart this morning. Echo India, India Golf X-ray, the registration on the 737 MAX. This one 2 years of age. And the EPS 767 starting up in the distance. 767 departing as well this morning. November 327 Uniform Papa, the registration on the 767. First aircraft here in front of us though, just about to rotate right out off to Faro this morning. Well, that next aircraft then should be ready to make its way onto 27 as well. Jet 2 off to Future Ventura, Golf Golf Delta, Foxtrot Charlie, the registration on the 737-800. This one a little older than its counterpart, it's just departed. 27 years of age, 1998. This one first entered into operation. Another collision light there pinging away. Next aircraft should be making its way out any time soon. The UPS 767 has started pushing. So is the Jet 2 and Chewy this morning. Both aircraft pointing over towards the west. Just give you a quick view over of the Deer Chow ramp from where we are. That's the main apron there. You can see those Ryanairs and Jet 2 right in front of us. The Chewy and Jet 2 just hidden in the background there. But then the Deer Chow ramp right in front of us. So those runway lights just obscuring the view a little bit, but it's like 2 757s there in with us this morning, and then the 767 as well on the very end stand, assuming the very end stand. Yeah, nothing else in this morning, so just a number of cargo aircraft there over on the DHL ramp. Bit of a different perspective from our usual position. Looks like another couple of 757s there as well. So 4 757s on the ground here at East Midlands this morning. So look then, that next aircraft should be making its way onto runway 27. It is indeed lining up on the centre line there in the distance. As that sun does rise in the distance, we'll get a little bit closer to those aircraft, so it can get a bit difficult with the lights glaring right at you. There you go, a lot of water there on the runway, being kicked up by those engines this morning. Jet 2 there safely departing away. The EPS 767 still on the apron at the minute. That one just ever so slightly obscured from view in the distance, but the one 747 is down there and will be in that area. Jet 2 off to Palmer and Chewy off to Palmer as well. Both of those aircraft on the main apron this morning. good morning to everybody in the chat as well, joining us. Good to have you with us. Yes, see, we've made our way out of the aeropark this morning just for a bit of a different view. Taking full advantage of the weather while we can. Chewy off to Palma this morning, making its way down to the start of runway 27. And the UPS 767 also making its way onto the taxiway. So look in the distance, see if you can see any of those lights pinging away. Just see the anti-collisions there pinging in the distance. So Chewy just to the very right of the screen, and the UPS 767 slightly ahead. Let's have a quick look what else is departing this morning. 747 departing out to Hong Kong. That one estimated about 8:10. Right out to Valencia at 8:15. And the Chewy to Boa Vista at 7:55. They're at 2 to Faro at 7:50. Jet 2 to Malaga 7:35. Chewy off to Paphos about 7 AM. And Jet 2 off to Alicante 20 to 7 this morning. And that one just ahead of the Jet 2 off to Mahon. That one should be departing about 6:30, so in the next 20 minutes or so. There's next aircraft making our way down to the start of 27 now. The Jet 2 joining as well on the taxiway. Golf Delta Foxtrot Sierra, the registration on the Jet 2 737-800. That one 24 years of age. Off to Palma just ahead. The Chewy also off to Palma. Golf Tango Uniform Kilo Victor, 16 years of age on the aircraft. 737-800 as well. And the EPS 767 at the very front of the queue there, 26 years of age, 1998. That one first entered into service, November 327 Uniform Papa. The registration on that 767. It looks like the Chewy intercepting just ahead of the 767 there. That will make its way all the way down to the start of runway 27. So it looks like the Chewy to Palma departing out first then. Very good to have you with us this morning. Thank you for joining us from a very cold and very windy East Midlands Airport. So that should be it for the next few hours, probably ending about 9 AM this morning. Just enough to catch all of those early morning departures. A couple of arrivals as well making their way in this morning. So as long as that sun starts to rise anytime soon, we should get a fairly decent view of those aircraft arriving in. Chewy with a very late rotation there then this morning. Thundering away in the distance. So look for the next departure there, and the Jet 2 looks like that one is making its way onto runway 27 next. Yes, indeed, there it is in the distance. the EPS 767 right at the end of 27. Just holding for the Jet 2. The next aircraft starting on standby. The Jet 2 off to Takeoffs this morning. Right, in from Malaga, making its way to us as well. About an hour and 30 minutes before that one reaches us. And the 777 in from Bahrain. About an hour and 25 for that one left to run this morning. Just over Germany, just south of Nuremberg at the minute. Those aircraft quickly making their way in towards East Midlands this morning. So that wind holding steady at about 25 knots. That next aircraft just sitting on the runway there on the centre line, waiting for clearance. And it looks like it is rolling in the distance. So making its way down towards us now then. Jet 2 off to Palma this morning. Golf Delta Foxtrot Sierra, the registration on the 737-800. Getting a little bit lighter as well down there. Then making its way from us this morning, that Jet 2 service after Palma. Making the initial turn there down towards the south. Let's get set back up then for the 767. If we can get there. There it is, here in the distance, the UPS 767 then off to Philadelphia this morning. Number 327, uniform Papa, the registration on the 767. A lot of spray there being kicked up by those engines, safely rotating and on its way. This one making a turn up towards the north this morning. Making its way back across to the US. Safely on its way from East Midlands, the UPS 767 back off to Philadelphia this morning. Just picking up ever so slightly now then. Taking a bit of shelter this morning. Right from the most severe of the wind, anyway, extremely windy, making our way to the airport this morning, so do be careful if you are out and about. The Jet 2 then making its way off of the Apron onto the taxiway. That one off to Takeoffs this morning. You just see the anti-collision light there pinging away in the distance. Starting to get just a little bit lighter as well now. Making it a little bit easier to spot those aircraft in the distance. The 747 making its way out to Hong Kong. Estimated departure time is 8:10 this morning. That's the 747 there right in the very distance. And the Ryanair off to Dublin as well, starting up on stand. Jet 2 in the distance there, making its way down to the start of 27. Off to Zakynthos this morning. Golf Juliet Zulu Bravo Whiskey, the registration on 737-800. See whereabouts that one intercepts 27. Let's just have a quick look over towards the main apron. There we go, the Ryanair there pinging away. That one off to Dublin this morning. 9 Hotel Quebec Charlie Foxtrot is the registration. 737-800 this morning, operating out to Dublin. This one 9 years of age. Pushing there then in the distance. So definitely a little too windy to be up on the mound this morning, unfortunately. It's making our way just a little further down the perimeter road at the end of runway 09, catching all of the departures in front of us. A little bit of a different perspective, not been down here for quite some time. Right now then, just disappearing off that. Let's see if we can just have a quick look before it disappears. There it is, and making its way just out of sight. But the Jet 2 off to Zakynthos is the next aircraft out. There it is, making its way onto runway 27. The sun just starting to rise as well in the distance, bringing a bit more light though over towards the east. Thank you very much for joining us this early on from East Midlands. So it's not too bad. Under temperature, where are we? About 10 degrees, feeling a little bit warmer out of the wind. Definitely a challenge getting down here this morning though. The next aircraft at the end of 27 then, waiting for takeoff clearance. So the sun rising from the east, we should get quite a decent view of those first arrivals into East Midlands this morning. The Ryanair and DHL both making their way into us. Bit of weather though making its way over from the west. Looks like it's mainly covering the south of the airfield though, so should pass us. I think that rain is holding off till the last time we checked anyway, till about midday today. Jet 2 holding steady then down there, no movement on that one just yet. And the wind holding steady as well, about 25 knots. Looking at the forecast though, that is expected to get a little bit stronger. A little bit of rain forecast at 7 this morning. I think the majority of that should pass us by. A big bank of weather right in front of us, which I'm assuming is going to be on the radar. Let's try and get everything covered up as quickly as possible. but the wind is definitely increasing. By the time we end the stream this morning, the speed's getting up to about 44-45 miles an hour. We're about 35 at the minute, so getting a little bit stronger as the morning continues on. Jet 2 still holding steady down there. Right out off to Dublin, that one is still sitting on the Apron as well, so not a lot of movement from those aircraft just yet. I'm assuming it may be because the weather this morning causing a few difficulties. There is quite a band of dark cloud at there, not too sure if you can pick it up on a camera. Let's see if we can. Yeah, a little bit lighter, but that is the weather there, dark all the way above us this morning, making its way over towards the east, so I'm assuming those aircraft just holding still until that weather passes. Looking quite nice out there though, over towards the east. If nothing else, it should be quite a sunny day. There you go then, looks like those lights turning on there. Aircraft should be making its way down towards us then. Indeed. Jet 2 off to Takeoffs this morning, and after a short wait, finally making its way down towards us. So the majority of that weather passing by very quickly this morning thanks to the wind. There it is, and safely making its way from East Midlands this morning, that Jet 2 off to Takeoffs, just starting to initiate that turn down towards the south. There it is, a bit of a clear image as it moves away from some of the darker cloud above it. There it is, safely making its way from us. Right now then should be the next aircraft to make its way out. Give you an idea of some of the rain passing overhead this morning. With that sun gradually rising in front of us, and the Ryanair making its way down to the start of runway 27. Fly 4 also starting on stand, that one operating on behalf of Chewy off to Alicante this morning. Echo India Foxtrot Charlie, the registration on the 737-800. See if we can have a look over there towards the main apron. Fly 4 just obscured ever so slightly. The Jet 2 off to Kefalonia also starting on stand. Golf Golf Delta Foxtrot X-ray, the registration on the Jet 2 this morning, and the Fly 4 is... Looked like that one was moving then, but still on stand. The Ryanair though, making its way down to the start of runway 27. See those lights pinging away in the distance there. See if we can get a little bit closer. Yeah, just about to see the top of the aircraft there. Hotel Quebec Charlie Foxtrot, the registration on the Ryanair, making its way to Dublin this morning. Let's see if this one holds or if it makes its way straight down towards us. No, it's like no messing around from the Ryanair, straight out this morning. Already at about 100 knots there as it makes its way down towards us here. Tricky. He's directly overhead this morning, camera reaching its maximum tilt. There we go. Initiating the right hand turn then towards the north. Ryanair safely on its way to Dublin this morning. Goes in the distance. So look at the next aircraft making their way out then. Everything resets. Looking very orange down there in the distance. Yeah, good view of the Apron as well down there. Well, good view as we're going to get from this perspective anyway. Slightly different from the airport this morning. Making full advantage of the lights here, the wind direction as well. Being on 27, it gives us that perfect opportunity to catch all those departures right, heading right towards us this morning. Jet 2 in the distance, pushing then. One is off to Kefalonia this morning. The next Jet 2 to start up off to Mahon. That one is pushing as well there. Just get a little bit closer towards the Apron. There we go. The Jet 2 in the jet2.com livery off to Kefalonia. And the Jet 2 in the Jet 2 Holidays livery there, just about to emerge from behind the Ryanair. That one off to Mahon. The Fly 4 is just behind. Jet2.com liveried 737. Just about make out the winglets there on that aircraft. But all three scheduled to depart from East Midlands anytime soon. Ryanair in from Malaga will be one of the first aircraft into East Midlands this morning, running just slightly behind the 777 in from Bahrain. That one will be making its way into us in the next hour or so, just making its way past Frankfurt at the minute. That's about an hour and 5 minutes for that one left to run. Making its way in from Bahrain, the 777, registration Golf Delta Hotel Lima Yankee. and the rider in from Malaga, Echo India Foxtrot Sierra. That one currently at 38,000 feet with about an hour and 15 minutes left to run. But both Jet 2 aircraft at the rear of the Apron of Timahan and Kefalonia this morning. Now once that cloud does clear towards the south, maybe a little bit more weather behind us, but nothing looking like it just yet. Let's have a look at that cloud in the distance. Now the visibility is still quite good this morning, 6 miles or so reported on the weather, but in reality we've got quite a good view right over towards Nottingham from this position. Good to have you with us. Hope everybody is keeping warm and dry. So we've reduced the schedule slightly during the week, so that evening traffic really has died off now. The summer schedules have ended. We're getting in towards the autumn and winter schedules as well, so making the most of the early morning traffic here at East Midlands. It's a bit more frequent than it has been of an evening, and the weather hasn't really been that grey either, so not a lot of opportunities for taking shelter. So here this morning making advantage of the half decent weather, so the wind biting a little bit, taking some of that temperature away, but other than that quite warm and tucked away where we are for the time being. The Jet 2 is on the move then. The wind does definitely bite through a little though. Where are we at the minute? 26 knots the current wind speed here at East Midlands. Now that weather is slightly delayed, the temperature dropping ever so slightly as well. But looks like the Jet 2 and Flyfull 737s both making their way out to the taxiway this morning. The Flyfull just emerging slightly ahead, and that third aircraft as well also making its way towards the taxiway. A bit of a better view now. The sun started to rise. So where are we? Just before 20 to 7 this morning. So don't forget the air park also open as well this weekend. They're on the winter schedule now, so opening times do differ slightly. There's a link to their website below though. Check out their latest opening times and the admission prices as well. Also all the aircraft on static display. Should be quite a good day this afternoon. Catch some of those early morning departures arriving back into East Midlands. Say that wind is definitely going to pick up into this afternoon. So maybe a few good photo opportunities from the mound of the aero park. Well, it will be extremely windy up there. There you go then, both of those aircraft down at the start of 27 now, the Fly 4 just ahead, making its way on to runway 27 there. There it is, safely making its way on, so we've got good, almost eye-level view there of the runway this morning. Gust picking up ever so slightly, so let's see how the Fly 4 copes with those winds. So the aircraft this morning been dealing with the wind quite well. So the Jet 2 holding just a short while ago for the band of weather to make its way from us. Other than that, everything seems to be operating quite smoothly this morning. 747 is estimated to depart about 8:10. It should be quite interesting to see that one making its way out in the wind. With the Fly 4 there, thundering down towards us then, Echo India, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Charlie, the registration on the Fly 4 off to Alicante this morning. Jet 2 in the Jet 2 Holidays livery, just holding short of 27. The Jet 2 in the Jet2.com livery off to Kefalonia. Lining up on 27, just waiting for some of that wake turbulence to clear and that Fly 4 to get a little further out of East Midlands airspace before it commences its takeoff run. But both aircraft in the distance, ready to depart out this morning. Off to Power is estimated to depart at 7 AM, and the Jet 2 off to Malaga at 7:45. Jet 2 to Faro on estimated to depart at 8 AM, and the Chewy off to Boa Vista at 5 to 8 this morning, just before the Jet 2 off to Faro. Ryanair to Valencia at 8:15, and at 7:47. Hopefully departing just before the Ryanair at 8:10. The Jet 2 making a trip up to Liverpool. 8:25 the estimated departure on that one. The Ryanair to Malaga at 8:30, and the 767 off to Brussels, that one with an estimated departure of 9 AM this morning. But first, the next aircraft making its way down towards us is that Jet 2 off to Kefalonia. Aircraft all the way down in the distance and ready to make its way out as well, making its way onto runway 27 now, lining up on the centre line. The Jet 2 off to Mahon this morning. Golf Juliet Zulu Delta Foxtrot, the registration on that 737-800. Good to see everybody in the chat as well. Emma, I hope you're keeping well. Webber, good to see you. Pete as well. So the sky not looking too bad over towards the east end this morning. A little bit better than behind us. But there we go, that next aircraft just about to emerge over the top of the brow of the runway there. There it goes, making its way from us, that Jet 2. A little bit bumpy there. Definitely a bit bumpy for that one. Maybe a little bit of wind shear there as it dropped. There we go, safely departing away from East Midlands this morning, that Jet 2 off to Mahon. So look over on the DHL ramp then. So the next aircraft starting up on the passenger apron. The Jet 2 off to Alicante, Golf Delta, Foxtrot Delta, their registration on the 737-800. 757s there. Looking very shiny as that sun rises. And the 767 right on the end stand there. The 767 is estimated to depart at about 9 AM this morning, making its way out to Brussels. That should be the last aircraft on this morning's stream from East Midlands. So you can get a little bit closer to that 767 there. There you go, get that focused as well. The side of the aircraft we don't usually get to see on the streams. We haven't done for quite a long time. I think the last time we were up here streaming from this point of view, or viewpoint should I say, the start of the year. It is very much colder. Yeah, a couple of 757s there this morning. .757 there as well. And the one next to it on the very end stand. So 4 757s over there on the DHL apron this morning. Doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon though. Maybe a 777 there. Oh, 767 maybe, just hiding behind some of the remote stands there on the DHL apron. So if you missed last week's stream as well, right at the very end, getting towards about 9 AM, The departure of the Spitfire and Harvard right in front of us. Just before the 747 departed out to Hangzhou, I think that one was going to. Looks like the Jet 2 just hiding away behind the Ryanair in the distance, and the anti-collision light pinging away there. The structure's just obscuring the view ever so slightly. The approach lights to runway 09 this morning. So look down at the runway heading then. Definitely a little bit brighter now than where we were 30 minutes or so ago. So look at the arrivals and departures as well then. Making their way out from and into East Midlands. The Ryanair in from Malaga. About 50 minutes until that one reaches us this morning then. Just west of Nantes in France. And the 777 making its way in from Bahrain. Again, about 55 minutes until that one is with us. Making its way towards Brussels now, 36,000 feet. So with the lights being quite favourable in the distance. Should get quite a nice approach of those aircraft this morning. I think the arrivals are very light. Well, for the next hour or so at least. 777 in from Bahrain, the Ryanair in from Malaga. 7:47 the estimated arrival time of the 777. And that service from Malaga 7:49, so 777 looking like it might be in first, just by a couple of minutes. 767 in from Belfast, just after 8:10, and the Ryanair making its way back from Dublin. That one is estimated to arrive at 8:35 this morning, depending on the weather. The ASL ATR in from Belfast just before 9, and the 757 in from Edinburgh. Jet 2 just sneaking out there. 757 in from Edinburgh just before 9 AM. So still a number of aircraft to make their way in towards us. Poised at a prime position as well this morning to catch those arrivals all the way in the distance. Hopefully a steady approach. See that wind still holding at about 26 knots for the time being. The 747 estimated to depart in about an hour and 20 minutes. 8:10 is the estimated departure time for that 747 in the distance off to Hong Kong this morning. It's a little bit noisier than we're used to in this position. Like the road noise in front of us. Yeah, very chilly morning. We're good to have you with us. Hope everybody is keeping warm this morning. So definitely very windy making our way here. Wind's really pushing everything around. Even walking here this morning was a bit of a struggle dragging everything with us. Chewy off to Ibiza is starting to push off stand. Try and catch that one in a minute. Hidden ever so slightly just behind a terminal building there. So we may catch that one just as it starts to emerge onto the taxiway. The Jet 2 though in the distance there, just about to reach the end of runway 27. It's picking up a little bit of speed there. There it is, intercepting a little early. Golf Golf Delta Foxtrot Delta, the registration on the 737-800. Definitely a little bit colder than it was earlier. That temperature dropping ever so slightly. Now a lot of that cloud cover has dispersed. Just below 10 degrees is the real feel. Just below 11 degrees it looks like is the temperature here in East Midlands this morning. Just before 7 AM. Wind dropping ever so slightly as well, down to 21 knots now, so dropping by about 5 knots. Although it is expected to get a little bit blustery in the next couple of hours. Well, making its way towards us now then, that Jet 2 off to Alicante. Pick this one up then. There it is, just takes a few seconds for that one to pass over back into our reach. There it is, not as bumpy as its counterpart's previous departure. I think those winds just subsiding ever so slightly. There it goes off into the cloud there. Safely away from East Midlands this morning. Bit slippy underfoot as well. Hopefully drying off a little bit later though. Hopefully the wind wicks away some of the dew on the grass. So that next aircraft should be making its way out anytime soon. Ryanair in front of us there, and the Jet 2 in the distance as well. The 747 right at the very end of the airfield. And the DHL Apron, number of aircraft over there with us this morning. That's 767, or one of the 767s over on the Apron this morning, making its way out to Brussels at about 9 AM. That Chewy looks like it is making a move has indeed. There it goes, making its way onto the taxiway in the distance. And the next two off to Takeoffs, also starting up on stand. That one should be pushing any time soon. The aircraft in front of us are taxiing down to the start of runway 27, Golf Tango Uniform Mike Delta, the registration on that 737 MAX to Ibiza this morning. Loosen that off a bit. The equipment trying to get acclimatised to the weather this morning, a lot colder than it has been used to these past few months from here at East Midlands. With
What do you want?
whatever there is. So look then, just about to reach the end of 27. Everything zipped up and keep a bit of warmth in. A few layers on this one and keep him warm. That's not too bad, just blocking the wind behind the fence this morning. It definitely makes a bit of a difference having a windbreak right next to you. It's usually out on the mound up at the airport taking the full brunt of the weather. Venturing out this morning just to make a I'll take a different point of view on the stream. Just catch some of those departures right in front of us. They're heading down towards us. So I don't usually, we don't get the close-up shots from this vantage point. As close as we're going to get anyway. Now the mound definitely our preferred spot. Chewy lining up on runway 27, then Golf Tango Uniform Mike Delta, the registration on the 737 MAX off to Ibiza this morning. A few birds just passing the runway there. And there it goes, thundering down towards us. Nice early rotation from the Chewy there. So they usually take full advantage of the runway, but oh, nice and early for a change. That next aircraft then is pushing off of stand. Should be making its way out towards us in the next few minutes. Might just be able to catch the aircraft taxi in there in the distance, just behind the Ryanair there. Still a number of aircraft over on the main apron this morning. Not too long before we see the arrival of that Ryanair in from Malaga and the 777 in from Bahrain. The wind holding steady at about 21 knots at the minute. It's going to get a little bit breezier later on though. As we get further into the day, I think the cloud is going to be very light though this morning. So should be quite a good vantage point to catch those arrivals right in front of us. About an hour or so then until this 747 departs from East Midlands. Off to Hong Kong this morning, just there in the distance. Really cheap on the taxiway there, just making its way towards that 747. The next aircraft to depart off to Paphos. Golf Tango Uniform Kilo Oscar, the registration on 737-800, 14 years of age. A number of arrivals making their way in from the north as well. Nothing pinging up just yet though. The weather is pretty bad further up the country. But one of the last arrivals should be the 757 making its way down from Scotland this morning. Assuming that it does make it off the ground. So I think some quite severe gales were forecast over in Ireland and up in Scotland. It's about 80 mile an hour, I think he was saying last night. So a little bit breezier than it is here at East Midlands. So we'll see if those aircraft do indeed make their way out or if they will be delayed. I'm assuming given the weather conditions it might be slightly delayed this morning. But everything running smoothly from here at East Midlands so far. No delays it looks like. Well, thank you very much for joining. It's good to have you with us. I think we're all managing to keep as warm as you can. It's a little bit colder out here than we're used to, but sheltering from the wind. So not bad at all. The Chewy then just about to make its way onto runway 27. See if we can just pan it a little bit further around. There we go, and we usually are up on the mound. You see the sign there for the stream, just front of the Nimrod. Now the airport open on its winter schedule now, so if you're interested in coming and seeing some of the aircraft arrive and depart from East Midlands today, as well as all those aircraft on static display there over at the airport, definitely have a look at the link in the stream description below. Take to the airport's website, give you all our latest opening times, admission prices and aircraft on static display as well. May well be worth taking a bit of shelter underneath and around some of those aircraft given the weather conditions today. So it's quite blustery once you step away from any form of natural windbreak. There it is then, making its way down towards us now. The Chewy off to Paphos this morning. See if we can pick that one up then. Very shallow departure there then. There it is, coming back into view. A little bit of wobble as it lifted off the cedar fence, passing through the image on screen. There it is, ever so slightly hindered by the wooden fence in front of us. But Chewy safely off away from East Midlands this morning, off to Paphos there in the distance. So it's not been too challenging for those aircraft this morning. Jet 2 having a little bit of difficulty as it's climbed away. Gets in a little bit of turbulence there, about 1,000 feet as it departed out, so a bit of a bumpy ride for all those passengers this morning, but so far nothing too drastic. That wind though is definitely starting to pick up now though. That weather delayed ever so slightly, those gusts really starting to kick in. Let's have a look for those next departures then. Jet 2 off to Malaga at 7:45 and the Jet 2 off to Faro at 8 AM. Chewy out to Boa Vista at 7:55 and the Ryanair off to Valencia at 8:15. The 747 off to Hong Kong within the hour. Now we did see a little delay on that service last week, the very same aircraft. Where is it? There it is in the distance, just as the sun starts to rise there. But that one was delayed departing from East Midlands last week, and very thankful for that delay as well. Getting to see the Harvard and Spitfire making their way out onto runway 09. Departing just ahead of the 747. So if you did miss last Saturday morning stream, definitely go and have a look back. Spitfire and Harvard taking off towards the very end of last Saturday's stream, just ahead of the 747 departing. The sun then starting to rise in the distance. Quite a sunrise it is too. So look at some of the next arrivals, and just as the sun starts to rise there, Ryanair in from Malaga arriving with us in about 30 minutes, and the 777 in from Bahrain just ahead. That one is making its way, or is on track to make its way over Southend-on-Sea first, I think, and then make its way up from there past Luton, Milton Keynes, Northampton, Leicester, and then in towards East Midlands. But a very scenic morning here at East Midlands, so thank you very much indeed for joining us. The sun just rising there. Should be a fantastic opportunity to catch some of those aircraft arriving in with us just a short while. So we'll keep an eye on those later arrivals from the north, Edinburgh and Belfast specifically. The weather out there is quite a bit different at the minute to what it is here at East Midlands. Let's see if we can have a look A little bit different. A lot of rain accumulating over Belfast at the minute. The wind speed about 14 knots, so not too bad. But an area of turbulence and high winds over East Midlands at the minute, or just shy of East Midlands. I think a lot of the aircraft skirting away from the defined area of turbulence just a little before they encroach into that. No, be a very bumpy afternoon, I think, for those aircraft making their way back into East Midlands. That's 777 though, isn't too far away from us now, 30 minutes or so. Registration on that one, Golf Delta Hotel Lima Yankee. 757's over there in the distance. If that 757 does make its way down from Edinburgh this morning, I think it was Edinburgh it was making its way in from. It did last Saturday anyway, so a quick check. Yeah, Edinburgh it is making its way in from. That'll be the 5th 757 in with us. A couple just to the end of the apron there. In the distance as well. Another couple of 757s. The 767 on the very end stand. Hopefully making its way out to Brussels this morning. But not too long before we see those next departures and arrivals into East Midlands. Then we'll keep an eye out for the 777 arriving in with us. Hopefully you should be able to see that one quite a way in the distance this morning. A lot of overhead traffic as well, presumably making its way into Manchester and a few airfields further north. A little bizjet there passing over ahead of us. For the time being, just the sunrise to contend with looking at. Very orange it is indeed down there as well this morning. A couple of 737s then in the distance. The Jet2, Jet2.com livery. I think that's the all-white livery there. And the aircraft, that's the aircraft right in front of us, and the aircraft to the right in the Jet2 Holidays livery. Both of those should be making their way out very shortly from East Midlands. So they're still working on the 747 though, those systems offline at the minute. Doesn't look like any hydraulic pressure to those vertical and horizontal stabilisers there. And good to see everybody this morning as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope everybody's keeping warm. So a little bit of warmth returning now. The cloud has passed over. Whatever rain was forecast doesn't seem to be materialising. But sunlight really cascading over towards the west as well this morning. A lot of orange cloud making its way towards us. Sunlight reflecting from all the moisture right above us. Right, and it looks like another Jet2 in the distance then. See whereabouts they are off to this morning. So presumably the Ryanair in front of us. So look at the registration. Yeah, it is indeed Echo India Echo Mike Lima, the registration there on the 737-800 off to Valencia. That one is scheduled to depart East Midlands in just under an hour's time, at 8:15. That one should be on its way. But services departing in the next 20 minutes or so. The Jet 2 off to Malaga and the Jet 2 to Faro this morning. That is, if you can see it through the sunlight there, the aircraft right in the middle. Registration on that one, Oscar Mike Juliet Echo X-Ray on a 737-800 in the jet2.com livery. Not too long, and that one will be moving on from East Midlands, just in the charter livery there for the summer season. And the aircraft next to it should be making its way out to Malaga as well in the next 20 minutes. Golf Juliet Zulu Hotel Lima. A lot of letters to get out there, all jumbled up. But that one, 737-800 as well. Estimated departure time 7:45 this morning. Now, from this angle, may well be either the aircraft there in front of us, or the aircraft just behind the Ryanair front of the main terminal building off to Malaga, but we shall find out very soon. The Chewy off to Boa Vista at 7:55. That one is somewhere over there on the main apron. So four aircraft, sorry, out in the next 40 minutes or so. And then that fifth off to Hong Kong, the 747 in the very distance. Jet 2 making a trip back up to Liverpool as well this morning. 8:25, that one is expected to depart from East Midlands, and the Ryanair off to Malaga at 8:30. The 767 off to Brussels at 9 AM. And that should be the final aircraft of this morning's stream. So the aircraft into this afternoon, a very brief window of arrivals. It looks like between 1:45, just before 4 PM. So Lydia made her way down here this morning. It's like the Qatari Gulfstream though, in just after 6 PM this evening, making its way in from Doha. Qatar Executive Bombardier Global 5000, estimated arrival time about 6 PM. A couple of cargo services in from Baku, the Atlas Air 777 a little later this afternoon. 747 in from Anchorage as well, although that doesn't seem to be materialising that often anymore. The 747 in from Dubai, the Dubai World Centre. That's the One Air 747 Golf Oscar November Echo Echo. Quite a late arrival though, 8:25 this evening, so will well and truly be dark by that point. Ryanair and DHL 777 making their way up towards us now. The Ryanair just west of Heathrow, 20 minutes out, and the 777. So that one may be the second aircraft in this morning. That one is just north of London now, making its way over Enfield and then up towards St Albans, Luton, and then up from Milton Keynes, Northampton, Leicester, and into East Midlands for an arrival on runway 27. That sun just making its way a little further up, then hiding behind the cloud at the minute. 747 hopefully departing out on schedule. about 40 minutes or so before we see that one start up and initiate its taxi, very short taxi, down to the start of runway 27. It's good to have you with us, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. If it's your first time watching us here from East Midlands, thank you very much for doing so. Do consider subscribing. Reality, as much as we can be, it's tailed off a little bit over the past few weeks due to the weather and various other commitments. Very much favouriting the weekend streams at the minute. Early morning weekend streams catching the most of the traffic to and from East Midlands. Not done too bad so far this morning, starting at 6 AM, so just under an hour and a half we've been going for, and fairly lighter than it was a short while ago as well, starting as those first aircraft departed East Midlands. Total darkness, but with the sun right in front of us now, it should make for some quite scenic approaches, especially on those aircraft due to with us in the next 20 minutes. The Ryanair just making it ahead of the 777, and we'll see how well those aircraft cope with the winds here at East Midlands this morning. So it's gusting quite a bit where we are at the minute, with the wind about 20 knots. We were about 26 knots just a short while ago, so those winds are quite variable. Taking advantage of all the natural windbreaks this morning, trying to keep as warm as we possibly can. So when we're usually up on the mound in the airpark, that wind whips any sort of heat away very quickly. So a little bit warmer than we usually are, but we shall be back streaming from the airpark as soon as we possibly can. So this morning we're just taking advantage, given the high winds, to catch some of the arrivals and departures right in front of us this morning. Having a bit of a different view of the airfield. It's been quite a long time since we were down here at the start of runway 09. It's merely due to the road noise that is hard to get away from. So it often does get a little windier up here as well, as it is now. That gust really started to drive in. We're now fairly exposed up here as well at the end of the runway. So look, see how well the trees are faring over at the aeropark. There we would be on our usual spot. So looking a little bit windy up there. A sign for the stream as well, just ahead of the Nimrod there. Now the trees are quite good for stopping any wind getting any further than that. You definitely take the full brunt of the wind standing up there on the mound as we are this morning, even though we're a little sheltered. So look, what's starting in the distance then, and that sun just rising there. That'll be the next thing to contend with. The lack of light and a little too much light, I think. Hopefully it should hide behind a cloud in just a few minutes, just in time for those next aircraft as they make their way towards us. hopefully something starting up in the distance, whether it is the aircraft behind there. Looks like the back end of a 767, so may well be the aircraft off out to Brussels this morning. I think that is the usual stand it departs from. So the APU starting up. So getting ready to see the aircraft off this morning. Estimated departure time for that 767 is about 9 AM, so a little while to go yet. An hour and a half before we see that one depart. So it should be one of the last aircraft on this morning's stream. Ryanair in from Dublin and starting up. Oh no, sorry, read that wrong. The Ryanair making its way to Dublin. Looks like that one has gone around in Dublin on its second attempt now at a landing. So we'll see if that service back from Dublin does indeed make its way in on time. A few challenging conditions over in Ireland this morning. Yeah, very golden indeed out there. See if we can lose a bit of that light. There we go. Just hopefully be a bit better. So the next aircraft arriving in there from Malaga is that Ryanair 737 MAX Echo India Foxtrot Sierra. The registration on the next inbound should be with us in the next 10 minutes or so, just north of Northampton now, and the 777 arriving isn't too far behind it either. Right in line of the sun where we are this morning. Centre line a little bit off centre though, so it should be fine catching those next arrivals in. So the reverse thrusters deployed on the 757 there. Maybe a bit of work on the engines this morning. I think a very similar thing happened last week as well. The 757 taken from the DHL apron round to the maintenance area with those reverse thrusters deployed. No power to them, but very often we've seen, probably the first time in fact, we've seen any aircraft making its way towards the maintenance area with those reverse thrusters deployed. Still a number of years for those aircraft to be in service with DHL. I think another 4 or 5 years at least till they eventually leave the fleet and get replaced. So look then for those next departures from East Midlands. Very soon the jet to Malaga should be starting up. That one with an estimated departure time of 7:45 this morning. Let's get a little bit more power in before we drop out. We'll try and do our best as well to catch the arrival of that first aircraft, the Ryanair in from Malaga. Sun bringing a bit of warmth, but bringing a bit more difficulty in terms of seeing what's in front of us now. No, Should rise a little bit further before that aircraft makes its way in. Right, see if we can get that on there. Two. Right, that should hold. Get that one plugged in. Sorted. So the Ryanair, the next to arrive then, and that one is just east of Leicester now. See if we can see any movement over there on the apron. So there's two aircraft in front, the one to the left will be departing out in the next few minutes hopefully. Now making its way off to Faro. It's like a slight delay on the departures, 15 minutes or so we're pinging up at now. So a couple of those services this morning ever so slightly delayed. Let's say they're pinging up on the radar. Nowhere to be seen at the minute. But next departures should be the jet to Apron, Malaga and Faro. The service to Faro estimated departure time 8 AM and that service to Malaga is 7:45, so that should be the next aircraft departing out. Chewy off to Boa Vista at 7:55 and the Ryanair to Valencia at 8:15. The 747 off to Hong Kong this morning. That one is expected and still on schedule to depart at 8:10. And the jet 2 off to Liverpool, making its way back up to Liverpool this morning. 8:25 the estimated departure time for that aircraft. Ryanair to Malaga at 8:30 and the DHL to Brussels should be the last aircraft on this morning's stream. That one estimated to depart at 9 AM. So the 757 is starting in Edinburgh. So look what the conditions are like up there this morning. Winds a little bit less than here at East Midlands. So they may have subsided overnight. About 16 knots is the current estimated wind speed up there. 10 degrees, so very similar temperature to what we have here at East Midlands. Ryanair is the next aircraft to arrive then. That one should be making its way towards us in the distance. Nothing as of yet. But 757 with the reverse thrusters deployed is there. To apologise for the lighting infrastructure there. Hopefully quite a good view of the aircraft just beyond it. But exactly the same we saw last Saturday morning as well. Off towards the maintenance area for the aircraft. Listening there in the sun as it continues to be towed onto the taxiway. There it is then, everything very much orange right in front of us now. So what you're seeing on camera is exactly as my eyes are seeing, although camera doing a little bit better. See him there on the runway then, just before that next aircraft arrives in with us. That one is turning on to final approach now, so we'll try and pick that up if we can. Nothing out there just yet. It is quite a few miles out though, just before East Leak at the minute, so look at some finer detail. Yeah, still passing down through 2,700 feet, so a little way off in the distance. Something you can see in person anyway, so see if we can drop a bit more light there. No, just the bird in front of us at the minute, unfortunately. Now moving on the jet to either the 777 making its way in as well. That one less than 5 minutes now before it arrives in with us. Just about making out the Ryanair, I think, in the distance. Just breaking through a little bit of cloud there. See if I can pan out a little bit. This is where it becomes challenging, dealing with the sun. There it is. So that 777 shouldn't be too far behind. It really is difficult picking up those aircraft this morning. That sun really blinding in the distance as it continues to rise. It's only challenge being on the runway heading. Once that sun does start to rise from the east, you're pretty much at the mercy of it. You just have to rely on the cameras and the screens in front of you, otherwise you're end up looking directly into it, trying to pick any of these aircraft up. A little bit windy for the Ryanair then. Try and keep up with this one then as it continues its descent in towards East Midlands this morning. Just a couple of 100 feet to go then before it touches down. And there it is, hopefully safely touching down in the distance. Yeah, it should be coming to a rolling stop any time soon. The Ryanair in this morning then, arriving with us from Malaga. The 777 on final approach as well. We'll see the Ryanair off of the runway and then we'll pan straight over to the 777. There's the sunlight glaring through the windows there of the flight deck and the cabin as well. Right, let's try and pick up the 777 then if we can. There it is. See how well the triple deals with the wind then. So it is holding steady now at about 20 knots, 2,200 feet. It's currently passing through there, 113 knots as it continues to descend in towards us. Golf Delta Hotel Lima Yankee, the registration. This one with a flight time of 6 hours and 40 minutes this morning. Jet 2 off to Malaga, starting on standard, pushing on the apron. Handling the weather a little bit better than the Ryanair. See how well the 757 copes in a little while as well. There's gusts just picking up ever so slightly now. Just a few hundred feet left to go then before the 777 touches down. This one should roll out hopefully towards the end of the runway as well. This one is so should get quite a good close-up view of this one before it taxis off and finds its stand. There it is then, safely touching down in the distance, the DHL 777 in from Bahrain this morning. Not many chances we get to see the aircraft like this head on, especially with the sun rising behind there. Making its way all the way down to the end of runway 27 then at 777. It should be vacating any time soon. They're making use of all the available runway this morning. There it is. Shadow being cast on the other side of the aircraft in front of us from the sun this morning. But glowing there as it taxis off of runway 27. Try and get a little more light in now. There it is, making its way onto the DHL apron. Looks like it may be going on the very end stand. Yeah, it is indeed. Heading on to stand then, right next to the 767. Triple 7 in from Bahrain. Parking brakes applied then, those engines in the process of shutting down. Next couple of aircraft are making their way out the Jet 2 off to Malaga, starting its taxi down towards runway 27. And the Jet 2 off to Faro as well. That one is starting up. Cold.
There's a man down there.
Flags.
Jackson.
See if we can see that Jet 2 in the distance then. Somewhere down there. So we have to adjust the camera ever so slightly. Get rid of some of that light. A little too bright. There we go. Making everything a little bit darker but a bit more golden. Aircraft should be reaching the start of runway 27. Yeah, just see the vertical stabiliser there of that aircraft. The second Jet 2 should be making its way out as well. There it is, just pushing off of its stand this morning. So a little bit of a different view than we're used to, affected by the sunlight this morning for a change. So look, if there are any changes to the schedule on the 747, not as of yet. RVL in from the Isle of Man though, that one has been pushed back an hour or so, 10:10 is the estimated arrival time for that one. 9 AM was its original estimated arrival time. Should have the Chewy off to Boa Vista and the Ryanair off to Valencia though in the next few minutes. And of course the 747 at 8:10. 757 up in Edinburgh, that one just departing. Should be with us in the next 40 minutes or so, I would imagine. Golf Bravo Mike Romeo Delta, the registration on the 757 inbound from Edinburgh. The wind picking up as well this morning. Let's get on the runway heading then as that Jet 2 starts to make its way onto the centre line. Registration on the aircraft right at the end of the runway then. Golf Juliet Zulu Hotel Lima 737-800, this one 8 years of age. Off to Malaga this morning. Great to see everybody in the chat as well. Hope you're all keeping well. So we're as close up as we possibly can be today. Given the wind, don't fancy getting too cold. You know, some great views of the aircraft right in front of us this morning. The Jet 2 then making its way down towards us now, just lifting off there. Bit of a wobble from the wings as it lifts off. Let's try and get a close-up of that one then. Just have to wait for us until that comes back into frame. There it is. Bit of a better view now, so that cloud has dispersed. The sun just beaming off of the aircraft there. Goes into the cloud. A little bit of cloud there, making its way from the west. Very much a different story in front of us. Not a lot of cloud out there, so I see a few wisps of cloud there remaining. Nothing much at all over towards the east this morning. And a little bit of weather down towards the south. I can quite pick that up on camera. Apart from that, pretty much a bright and sunny morning here at East Midlands. The 777 then in the distance. Just catch the lower cargo door and the rear cargo door in action. It's a little bit closer than we usually get, especially this end of the airfield anyway. Usually have the full-on side view of the 767s being loaded and unloaded from the usual position on the mound, but try and get the A380 then into Manchester this morning if we can. Oh, excuse the fence as we move around, but we may just be able to catch that one. There it is. Surfing through the cloud there, off up into Manchester. Straight into the cloud, the Emirates A380 there in from Dubai this morning. Oh, precarious up here as well, slippy underfoot. There you go, the 777 being continuing to be unloaded. The Jet 2 out of Faro is on the taxiway, making its way down to the start of runway 27. No movement on the 747 just yet. So the schedules can be a bit temperamental on the cargo 747s. So we'll see in the next few minutes if that indeed does get pushed back, or if it does indeed start to ping up. Hopefully the latter. That wind really gusting through now though. The wind speed just picking up ever so slightly, about 22 knots. Those gusts are a little bit stronger. See if we can catch the Jet 2 making its way on the taxiway then. Yeah, just at the end of 2-7 there. Oscar Mike Juliet Echo X-ray, the registration on the 737-800. This one operated by Air Explore. On behalf of Jet 2. So the temperature still continuing to drop away, even with the sun glaring right at us this morning. 10 degrees is the current temperature here at East Midlands, just after 8 AM local time. The next aircraft off to fire then, lining up on the centre line of runway 27, ready to make its way down towards us. So a quick look on the radar, all that one is throttling up. Yeah, 757 in with us in about 35 minutes time. The 767 in from Belfast as well. That one is starting up in Belfast, just about to make its way to the start of runway 25. So probably a very similar arrival time to the 757. Well, probably in the next 45 minutes or so, that one should be making its way in towards us here at East Midlands. With the Jet 2 off to Faro, just lifting off. Nicely away then for that Jet 2737. Just the fence in the way there, the aircraft quickly popping back through. There we go, safely away this morning, the Jet 2 off to Faro. Triple 7 in front of us, in from Bahrain, continuing to be unloaded. And the next aircraft, the Ryanair off to Valencia, starting on stand. That one has just pushed, so let's move away from the 777. for a few minutes, see if we can find the 737 in the distance. A little further behind the terminal building, I think. Yeah, just about to see it being pushed back there. A couple of Ryanair aircraft on stand this morning. The Chewy also starting up just in front of the Ryanair. Aircraft glistening away there as the sunlight cascades over it. So, fairly busy morning here at East Midlands. As busy as we can hope for anyway. Got the next couple of aircraft ready to make their way out there. The Ryanair and the Chewy and the Jet 2 making its way up to Liverpool this morning. And that one just a little further across, I think. There it is. 737-800 there, returning back up to Liverpool. Golf Juliet Zulu Bravo Echo, the registration of the 737. We'll try and get both of those aircraft in frame. There we go. Yeah, it is indeed starting to taxi out now. So 3 aircraft outbound from East Midlands. Nothing on the 747 just yet. Quickly approaching the estimated departure time of 8:10. Has it moved? Nothing as of yet. We'll see if that pings up in the next few minutes or so, or if indeed that one has been pushed back. Did get pushed back a couple of times last Saturday. I think 9 AM was its estimated departure time. Ended up departing just after 9:30. So hopefully not too much of a delay on the 747 this morning. So it did look like they were working away on it in the distance. So time will tell. For the time being, 3 aircraft over there on the main passenger apron. Jet 2, Ryanair and Chewy 737s all ready to start taxiing in the next few minutes. The Jet 2 and the Ryanair then in frame at the minute. The Jet 2 continuing to push back. The Ryanair already pushed back. Engine starting up, should be making its way out under its own power in the next few minutes, and the Chewy just ahead of the Ryanair. Let's see if we can pick that one up or if it's hiding away. Just heading away slightly behind the hangars there and that main terminal building, but should be emerging in the next few minutes. 757 in from Edinburgh is 25 minutes out then. That one is making its way down over the Lake District at the minute. 469 knots is its current speed. Fairly blustery this morning. 22 knots is the current wind speed here at East Midlands. Aircraft not having too much of a difficult time. Jet 2 departing earlier, had a little bit of a bumpy departure, being buffeted around by the wind as it continued to make its way from runway 27. Looks like a bit of weather passing over towards the north of us, though some dark cloud making its way over towards the airfield. Hopefully passing by quite quickly though. Ryanair making its way out first. Off to Valencia this morning. 15 years of age on the Ryanair 737 in front of us. Echo India, Echo Mike Lima, the registration on that aircraft. Doesn't look like any power on this 747 in the distance. Hydraulic power anyway. That rudder fairly slack, which would indicate it's not quite ready to depart just yet. Let's have a look on the radar. Nothing changed on the radar just yet. 8:10 is still its current estimated time of departure. See in the next few minutes though if that does indeed change. So that radar information, it'll take a short while to upload with any new information. Hopefully not too much of a delay on the 747 this morning. Ryanair making its way down to the Star 27, then should start turning anytime soon. The Jet 2 also on its way out now, making its way up to Liverpool this morning. Let's see if we can see that one emerging from the main apron. There it is. And the 2 also making its way out. There it is, that third aircraft in the distance then. So all 3 737s departing in the next few minutes. The Ryanair being the first, the Jet 2 the second, and a Chewy. That third aircraft of the 3 to depart out. See if the Ryanair is lined up then. Just wait till the Chewy is on a taxiway. Here it is, safely on its way down. And the Ryanair ready and lining up on the centre line then, just about to line up. Oh, that temperature definitely is dropping away now. That wind speed really is picking up. In the next couple of hours, towards 10 AM, it's estimated to gust to about 45 mile an hour, I think. See how well the Ryanair fares then with the gusts. Nice and easy there for that one. Off it goes. Jet 2 will be the next aircraft on to runway 27 then. Just reaching the end of 27 there. And the two not too far behind. The cloud just hiding some of the sunlight. Making it a little bit better to see in the distance. But that next aircraft lifting away very early there. Very light though. No passengers on board that one this morning presumably. Ferrying back up to Liverpool. There over at the air park just before we pan back. There we go, and then the tree lined up on the centre line of runway 27. Away it goes there, safely departing East Midlands. Few gusts just buffeting that aircraft as it passed overhead. Straight off into the very much darker sky there in the distance. And away it goes now, maybe a little bit of rain over the airfield in the next few minutes. Hopefully not. 757 in from Edinburgh is about 20 minutes out. And the 767 in from Belfast, that one too, about 30 minutes out now. The 747 push back until 8:35, so about another 20 minutes before we see that one. Hopefully keeping to that estimated departure time, or their revised estimated departure time. So look at the weather over in the distance then, making its way towards the east. Very different story to what it was just a short while ago. Definitely dropping a little colder though. About 10 degrees the current temperature. There we go, the airfield in front of us, the 747. Now very distance down there. (8:35) the revised departure time for the One Air 747. So we'll be streaming till about 9 AM this morning. I want to catch in those last arrivals and departures. So the traffic definitely does drop off after that point until the early hours of this afternoon. Although the services this afternoon are fairly light as well. I've done quite well to catch the majority of the traffic here at East Midlands this morning. It's got a little bit of light now. The cloud has hidden the sun. There you go, that's a bit brighter. So the main apron over there pretty much empty now. All those aircraft departing out this morning. The Ryanair looks to be the only aircraft left on stand. That one off to Malaga this morning. In about 10 minutes time, 8:30 is the estimated departure time for that 737. Down there in the distance. And we should hopefully get the 747 and the 767 off to Brussels. So around for the next 40 minutes or so, hopefully. And I'm going to go and get warm. This is absolutely freezing in that wind. Yeah, the 747 pinging up now. Golf Oscar November Echo Foxtrot, the registration on the 747 outbound to Hong Kong this morning. There it is in the distance, so systems look to be alive now. There it is, pushing back. Runway lights turning on then right in front of us this morning. The 747 gleaming then as it continues to be pushed off of its stand. So I don't usually get to see the 747 from this angle. I do to a degree, but a little bit obscured by the tree on the mound. But there we go, finally starting up then, a little behind schedule. Ready to make its way out to Hong Kong this morning. The 757 in from Edinburgh, the next aircraft to arrive in. Golf Bravo Mike Romeo Delta, the registration on the 757 in from Edinburgh. That one is less than 10 minutes out now. Just making its way past Matlock. And the 767 in from Belfast, about 25 minutes until that one arrives in with us. That one making its way down towards North Wales now, just over Liverpool Bay. So the Ryanair off to Malaga this morning. Nothing pinging up for that service just yet, but estimated departure time is 8:30. So no, it is pinging away now. Just popped up on the radar. Echo India, India Foxtrot Sierra, the registration on the Ryanair 737. Let's just quickly pan across, see if we can catch that one. And there it is on stand, just be able to see that through the lighting infrastructure there. Should be pushing off of stand any time soon. 747 in the distance, so the next aircraft hopefully to make its way from East Midlands. The 757 making its way down towards Nottingham. Lights on the 747 pinging away. Well, that wind is definitely biting through now. There you go then, the 747 crew on board, checking all those flight surfaces. See how far in the distance we can pick up the 757. Bit of cloud now forming over towards the east. It'll be a little bit difficult until it gets established on final approach. May arrive in just before the 747 departs this morning. Currently making its way down through 4,900 feet, 37 years of age on the arriving 757. The Ryanair off to Malaga, that one has pushed off of stand. See if you can pan across and just catch that one. Yeah, there it is, pointing over towards the east, just hiding behind the Jet 2 bus there. The 747 taxiing out now though. .21 years of age on the 747. The 757 turning on to final approach. Nothing in the distance just yet. Quite a bank of cloud in the distance there. The 747 gradually making its way down to the start of runway 27. Not far for that one to go this morning. That wind speed picking up ever so slightly, about 23 knots now. So it has varied this morning. The strongest was about 26 knots, but those gusts really are picking up as that 747 approaches runway 27. So the 757 right in the distance there. We'll keep on the 747 for the time being. Until that 757 gets a little closer. The 74 should be turning about now. It is indeed. And there it will wait. I assume it will wait. Yeah, holding short there for the 757. Oh, passing down through 2,800 feet now. So let's see if we can pick that one up on final approach. Should be a bit further up in the cloud somewhere. Zoom out, see if we can pick it up. Landing gear on the 757 fully extended as it continues its approach in towards us now. Just 97 knots is its estimated speed. Yeah, very slow indeed for that aircraft. 2,400 feet. .96 knots. 94. 93. 92. So just 92 knots, down to 90 now. Really is battling against the wind out there this morning. Speed picking up a little then, back to about 100 knots now. Those gusts really pushing against that aircraft. So well, the 767 Ian from Belfast copes. That one should be with us in about 15 minutes. A bit more stable now though, that speed increasing back over 100 knots. At 1,200 feet. There it goes, just about to touch down the last couple of 100 feet there. Well, really pushed by that wind as it touched down. Safely down on the ground. No use for any speed brakes at all, it looks like. A very wobbly touchdown from the 757 there then this morning here at East Midlands. Ooh. Shoe. Shoe got stuck in the grass then. Seven 757 safely vacating runway 27. Seven 747 then ready to depart this morning. See how all this one fares in the weather. There it goes, no trouble for the 747 this morning. Departing out to Hong Kong a little later than scheduled, but safely on its way. There it goes, the Ryanair, the next aircraft to depart. There it is, lined up on the end of runway 27. And that's 767 in from Belfast. About 7 minutes out now. Right now off to Malaga in front of us though. Echo India Foxtrot Sierra. There it goes, and making its way down towards us now. See how early this one rotates. See how well it battles the wind as those gusts really start to pick up now. A little bit of a wobble there. Goes, just being blown ever so slightly off of the runway heading there as it departs out. Safely on its way now from East Midlands, about 3,200 feet per minute there as it continues to climb away. And the 767 in from Belfast, the next aircraft to arriving with us. That one is just south of Nottingham now, about 5 minutes out. And that will be the final aircraft arriving on this morning's stream. Not too sure on the progress of the 767 off to Brussels. That one estimated to depart at 9 AM. So look over on the DHL ramp, see if we can see any movement over there. Maybe 767 right in the background there on the end stand. So just obscured by the infrastructure in front of us this morning. The only other 767 is over there, but it doesn't look like any movement on the aircraft as of yet. But that 767 in from Belfast will be touching down next. Golf Delta Hotel Lima Romeo, the registration of that aircraft. Passing down through 4,000 feet now at 199 knots. The 757 then getting down to 90 knots as it approached East Midlands. Let's see how well the 767 does. So those wind gusts are really picking up now. 23 knots is the current wind speed, but really has taken any warmth from the air this morning. Still hovering around 10 degrees. So nothing in the distance just yet. That 767 just coming out of its turn onto final approach. See any movement on the 767 on the ground there. Systems still don't look active, but I'm assuming it will either be the aircraft there in front of us or the one we just had a quick look at. Can't see any other 767s, so maybe some tucked around the other side of the apron there, but they're all the ones visible to us at the minute. The 767 reaching East Leigh now. Just about to turn onto final approach. Try and pick it up if we can. Just lose a bit of light. There it is, right in the distance. Stick on this one then and watch it down into East Midlands this morning. Landing gear yet to extend. (3,200 feet). This one is currently at 118 knots. Speed dropping off as well, very rapidly. Just a couple of minutes then until it's on the ground with us here at East Midlands. Flight time in from Belfast, 41 minutes this morning. Landing gear extending down then. Speed holding a little steadier than the 757, about 118 knots now. We're very, very blustery indeed now. Wind speed experienced by the aircraft then, about 53 knots now up there. Just over double the speed of what it is down here on the ground. Bit of rain as well falling on us at the minute. I don't know where from, it's just being driven towards us. .97 knots is the indicated airspeed then, or ground speed of the 767. Swaying there as it continues descending towards us. Just drop the camera a little lower. There we go, then stabilising ever so slightly as it gets closer to the ground. That wind speed dropping to about 40 knots now on final approach. Just the last few hundred feet to go. There it is, and safely on the ground this morning. Bit of tyre smoke there as it touched down very abruptly in the distance. Safely making its way towards us now. 767 in from Belfast this morning. There we go, a bit of a challenging approach for that one there. Safely down on the ground at East Midlands. This wind's really gusting, just a few hundred feet. There it is, safely making its way towards us, veering a little bit there off the centre line. safely vacating onto the taxiway. DHL 767 arriving from Belfast there. Right then, I think with the rain starting to drive towards us, it's probably a good point to end this morning's stream. We'll watch the 767 onto its stand then. I think we get packed up before we get hit with any of that rain. So it is starting to drive towards us now. It doesn't look like it in the distance, but it is definitely starting to fall on the equipment, so I think we'll err on the side of caution, get packed up and go and get warm before we succumb to the elements this morning. See whereabouts this one ends up on stand then. So the next 767 is starting to push, so let's stick around and just catch that last departure, then hopefully that rain will hold off behind us. So we'll see the 767 in, and then the next one departs out as well. And then that one will be the final aircraft on this morning's stream. So we should be ending around 9 AM as planned. There it is then, safely on stand, just about to come to a stop. There's parking brakes applied, so from 1767 to the other, there it is. .767 on schedule then. This one expected to depart out to Brussels this morning. Let's keep up with it. Just a short flight from East Midlands over to Brussels. So she'll be on its way on its own power in the next couple of minutes. The tug just being released there. Collision light pinging away. It's a little little bit closer than we usually get to the aircraft, but still fantastic view. The sunlight just glaring off the flight deck windows. Hopefully ready to move in just a couple of minutes' time. And this one will be the final departure on this morning's stream. So let's have a further look down if we can. Speed picking back up down about 26 knots this morning. Really is blowing as well. Bit of a crosswind now. Hopefully this one's on its way soon anyway. Just waiting on taxi clearance, I think. Yeah, there it goes. So just a quick hop down to the start of runway 27 for the 767 this morning. Brief view of the flight deck there. Stick with the 767 then and watch this down to the start of the runway. Keep it in frame for as long as we can anyway. So well, this one contends with the wind this morning. So it has increased to about 26 knots now, up to where we were a couple of hours ago. Very much a breezy morning here at East Midlands. So the wind is not as strong as they're going to be a little later on, I think. Still a decent enough challenge for all the arrivals and departures this morning. Thank you very much indeed for joining us again. A Saturday morning from East Midlands. It's been quite fortunate with the weather the past couple of weeks. It's not been too cold, so the sun breaking through again now, warming everything up ever so slightly. At least the rain's kept off for past couple of streams anyway. But if you can, do help us out and subscribe to the channel. We're still on our way to the next goal of 5,000 subscribers, so if you can, hit the subscribe button, give us a like. join us on our next stream here from East Midlands. Have a rain shower materialised as quickly passed anyway. Must have been driving in from somewhere. So not too far from reaching the end of runway 27 then. DHL 767 off to Brussels this morning. Ooh. I think we get quickly packed away and go and get in the warm. Another very early start this morning. There it is, and we're ready to line up on runway 27. Peeking over the brow of the hill there on the runway. And powering down towards us now then. Final departure on this morning's stream, the DHL 767 off to Brussels. And there it goes, safely away. Still powering away there. So you can catch a quick view of that one just before it disappears. See, there it is. There we go, nice and easy for the 767 this morning. So that's it from us for the time being. Thank you very much again for joining us from East Midlands. Very windy East Midlands anyway. It's been great to be with you this morning. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. If you've not already done so, do consider subscribing to the channel. We're well on our way to 5,000 subscribers. It'd be fantastic if you could join us. Well, thank you to everybody in the chat for being with us, valued members, subscribers as well. Great to see you all again, and we shall catch you all on the next one. But from us, that's it for now, so have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.